Hey guys, Joe here. Welcome back. Throughout the years, tons of reality TV shows have absolutely dominated the public consciousness. Today I want to take a look at a piece of pop culture that, to the best of my knowledge, was an absolute juggernaut of reality TV, and that is Jersey Shore. Now, the reason that I say to the best of my knowledge is I was in middle school when this came out, and it happened to just end up being the topic of discussion the year that this show premiered. With that being said, unlike my peers, I never really got around to watching the show. By that point, I'd already discovered YouTube, and it had officially taken over my life a couple years before it would take over everybody else's. Naturally, because the way that pop culture just sort of ingrains itself in everyday discussion, I know the general premise and some of the characters, but my name recognition of this cast before preparing to shoot this video was not good.
Alright, so I've never seen the Jersey Shore, and I'm going to make a video on it, so I'm going to see how well I can identify who these people are. So I had my wife save pictures of the cast to my phone. We'll see how I do. Right off the bat, that is The Situation. I don't know what his real name is, but I know that that's what he calls himself. Next up is Amanda? This one, I know I should know this. That's the girl from the spinoff. Couldn't tell you what that show is called, so I'm just gonna guess Paulette. All right, so this one I do know. That and all of that is Pauly D. I have no clue who this is. Strikes me as a Vic though, so it's Vic. So I know this name isn't Italian, and they're supposed to be Italian, I think. He looks like a Sean, but when it's spelled S-E-A-N. Alright, I'm like 85% sure that this person isn't even on the show, and that my wife saved this to be a curveball or something. I don't know. She looks like every waitress or bartender at a slots place. Oh, yep, Snooki.
Needless to say, after that abysmal attempt at name recognition, I decided that the best place for me to start would be to just watch the pilot episode. So I did, and it's something. If somehow you don't know, Jersey Shore was a reality TV show that aired on MTV, and it was about 8 people with arguably vague ties to Italian culture, all living together in a beach house on the Jersey Shore. That is an oversimplification, but I think I'd rather just let the footage speak for itself. Right off the bat, this episode, as I assume most episodes are, is 45 minutes long. This episode, of course being the first, spends the first 7 minutes introducing us to the cast, who include Pauly D, Mike The Situation, Sammy Sweetheart, Ronnie, Jenny, more commonly known as JWoww, Vinny, Angelica, and of course, Snooki. After the introductions, I had 2 main takeaways so far. Number 1 being, JWoww seems really annoying. And number 2, Vinny is just a good dude who loves his mom, and we should protect him at all costs. The first 2 people to arrive at the house for the summer were Mike and Pauly D, and for what it's worth, they seem to hit it off.
What up, homie?
What's up, man? Pull up.
What's up, Mikey?
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
So I walk in, I see the first dude. Right off the bat, we clicked.
I got a nice amount of stuff, but definitely not as much as you.
We decided that we're gonna bunk together, and then we were thinking we can bunk with a chick. That'd be kind of cool.
Now, about Pauly D. You know how bowl haircuts are called that because, you know, the whole image of putting a bowl on somebody's head and then cutting around the perimeter of the bowl? I'm like 80% sure he uses the same method for his hair, but instead of using a bowl, he probably uses one of those bundt cake pans. Now, moving on to Mike, I've looked it up, and I know why he calls himself The Situation. I get where he got the nickname. But I like to think it's because he doesn't get himself into situations that he doesn't already have a plan for. For example...
Hello?
I hear a girl.
Hey.
How you doing?
Sam, nice to meet you.
Michael, nice to meet you.
What's up? Nice to meet you.
Mwah. I see this beautiful girl, and I'm like, damn. And I immediately was like, all right, I figured I'd hook up with her.
This man has been in this house for maybe a half hour, and he's just already getting straight to it. The next person to show up was good old Vinny, and in the process of deciding which room to stay in, he decided that he was just going to set his bags down and wait to see who else showed up next, because if they don't seem like somebody he wants to share a room with, then he'll just move his stuff to the solo room. Needless to say, JWoww was the next person to show up, and the way that Vinny reacted makes me laugh so damn hard.
Oh, wait a second. Oh, it's a girl.
Definitely.
It's a girl.
Yeah. No, is it a girl? That's definitely a girl.
I see her out of the car. All I see is big fake boobs, black hair with blonde streaks. You can tell she's a little bit high maintenance.
He ran downstairs.
Did you see that jump? That man moved with the conviction of a kid whose mom just pulled up out front, and he definitely forgot to pull the chicken out of the freezer like she asked him to 6 hours ago. I had a feeling that I was going to like Vinny, and I'm glad I do, because he seems just as annoyed with JWoww's presence as I do.
Hi.
Hi, honey.
Why don't you put something down, sweetheart? Just put some stuff down for a second. Take a load off. What's your name?
JWoww.
JWoww?
Yeah.
Not hating on the girl, but you can just say your real name. I don't say, hey, what's up? My name is V. Wow, you know what I mean?
Why did you have to take the single bed?
I had to.
Come on.
I had to. I'm sorry.
That is the tone of a man who's not sorry. Eventually, everybody else shows up, and they're introduced to Danny, who is their landlord/boss. Aside from the show really feeling like just one big science experiment to see what would happen if a bunch of strangers lived together for 3 months having never met each other before, I forgot to mention, there is a catch. In exchange for staying rent-free at his beach house all summer, they have to all work at his t-shirt shop.
We're gonna do a little bit of everything from selling t-shirts to stalking to cleaning.
So I'm like, oh, this guy means business. I hope it's not hard work, because I don't even want to work. I'm a fucking DJ.
If you guys show up drunk, late, messed up, not ready to work, you guys will be fired.
We got it.
Good.
I don't know if it's super apparent, but it's probably like 8 p.m. by that point, and Snooki has been heavily drinking since the moment she walked through the door. In fact, after Danny left, most of the rest of that first night consisted of them just drinking more and, for the most part, seemingly deciding that they don't really like Snooki all that much.
Little Snickers, she didn't waste any time grabbing up and playing Ring Around the Rosie. She was having a good old time. You all right? Yeah, Ronnie, you want to help me out, dude? It was like a horror movie for a sec.
Which, in that circumstance, I can totally agree, but because of the way that she is, it led to, I think, some of my favorite scenes in a reality TV show that I've ever seen in my entire life. Hand to God, the show spends a good 5 minutes cutting between the rest of the gang, hanging out and getting to know each other, spending time on the boardwalk, and then cutting back to Snooki in the house, being absolutely flabbergasted by a landline phone in the shape of a duck.
The fuck is that thing quacking? That's really weird.
Hello?
Hi, it's me. Hello. Hi.
Who is this?
Nicole.
Who the fuck is this?
It's Nicole.
No, it's not.
Hello?
The next morning, everybody but Snooki shows up to work on time, mostly because she's too busy getting sick, most likely from minor alcohol poisoning, if I had to guess. Eventually, she does show up to work, and Danny doesn't fire her, but he does send her home with a warning. I assume nothing interesting happened for the rest of the day, because the episode then immediately cuts to them back at home, preparing to eat dinner together.
Situation sits at the head of the house.
Grace, I'll say Grace.
Yeah.
I got you.
Yeah,
I got you. Let's go. Don't be serious.
So we decided to say a prayer like any traditional Italian family would.
Dear God.
No, please go.
I'm going.
Bro, going home.
If you're gonna do Grace, do it right. It pissed me off. Vinny was laughing. He was saying other people laughed. Don't make a joke out of Grace.
Thank you for this experience. Never mind. I gotta go.
When I started writing the script, I mentioned Vinny and JWoww because they were the two that stuck out to me the most. There is absolutely no way I could have predicted how frequently I was going to be bringing them up, but their interactions are like throwing water on a grease fire. For example, her being upset that Vinny was laughing through trying to say grace. However, I don't know how they expected me to take this tension building seriously when Vinny is cracking up in front of a vanity plate on the wall that says New Joyzy.
Whoever bites.
We want to go fishing because we're up so high into the boardwalk. All the girls are like fish, and so we throw out a line and see if we can sink it.
So after dinner, Paulie and Mike are standing on the roof, hitting on random women that walk by, you know, as one does. I completely understand the use of the fishing metaphor in this context, but there is nothing short of photographic evidence that would lead me to believe that this DJ, whose hair is shaped like Bart Simpson's head, has ever once actually been fishing. I would almost guarantee that in 6 seasons, the show never tackles a let's have the gang all go fishing type episode, but I would pay good money to see 45 minutes of Pauly D casting a line into the Atlantic Ocean and catching nothing but seaweed and empty natty ice cans.
What up?
What's up?
Come here.
Where he's going? You gotta come around front.
No, come down here.
All you do is walk on the street. We'll meet you on the street.
You wanna do this?
You gotta.
You wanna do this? You wanna
do
do
this.
this?
Nothing else to do, man. Come on, son. I got the one in the green. She's talking to me. Yo, meet us on that street. You gotta come, though.
All right, let's go.
Yo, our girls are gonna get heated. Our girls are gonna get heated.
Not only is Pauly D an expert at fishing for women, he's also a regular Nostradamus, because when they invite these girls over, the women do in fact get heated. There's a lot of the next 10 or so minutes of footage that I cannot show you, for risk of getting multiple community guideline violations. There's also a lot of the next 10 minutes that I wouldn't want to show you. I get a sense that a lot of this show is people screaming over one another, and I don't personally find that super entertaining. However, there is one specific clip from this section that seemed really familiar, and I'm going to show you what it reminds me of, because I can't be the only one that goes through the rest of my life carrying this burden.
I mean, this situation is gonna be indescribable. You can't even describe the situation that you're about to get into. The situation.
You want him to do you so much you could do anything?
Can you close Bad idea.
Yeah,
close the door.
Thank
With
you.
you behind it. This is our house, too.
Don't let it hit you in the ass while you're out. Okay, go.
Bitches.
Here we go.
Oh, no.
That is enough.
So I'm just laying in bed and I hear them like screaming about me. Like, how many times did I already apologize? Like, come on. If you can't get over it, then fuck, I'm gonna leave.
Now, for what I can only assume are scripted reasons, Snooki overhears the commotion in the other room, and she thinks that they're talking about her, which leads her to start packing her thing. Which is kind of funny, because until the end of a long scene of them just arguing more, everybody in that house forgot she was there.
What happened to Snickers?
I don't know, she's downstairs.
Scripted or not, Snooki at this point doesn't really feel like she's bonded with any of her castmates. So, with her feelings hurt, she turns to the only person that she spent quality time with over the last, let's say, 48 hours, and that is the duck phone.
Dad, I know you're sleeping, but I have to talk to you right now.
Okay.
I think I'm gonna leave tomorrow. I'm being ignored right now. And I'm not used to that. I don't know what to do. And that's why I want to leave.
The reason the episode leans more into me thinking it's scripted is because nowhere during this episode did they really make it seem like they didn't want her around. Earlier in the episode, at dinner, she apologized for her actions on the first night, and they all seem to generally accept it. Then the show just forgets she exists until the 33-minute mark, and she's just laying in her room. As far as what the show has presented us with, no one told her she couldn't be out in the living room spending time with them.
Why would I stay here in a house that no one wants to hang out with me or no one wants to get to know me? Why am I going to end my summer with people that don't even want me around?
It's the second day. Like, there's so much more that we could do.
I know, but this is like the first 2 days. If I'm not bonding with anyone right now, I'm not going to.
The rest of the group eventually finds out her plans to leave, are adamant to her that they want her to stay, and she's still acting like they're purposely not including her in things. Then lastly, the funniest part of the episode to me comes when they end off on a cliffhanger, not revealing whether Snooki decides to stay or go. Admittedly, this is only funny with hindsight, considering she's arguably one of the faces of the entire franchise, and one of only 3 of these cast members to get a spin-off show. With that being said, thank you guys so much for watching today's video. If you enjoyed, feel free to leave a like, and if you really enjoyed, feel free to share this video with your friends. If you want to see more of my content, feel free to subscribe, and while you're at it, go ahead and hit that notification bell, and that'll let you know whenever I upload on this channel. Somewhere on the screen is going to be a link to my last video, and right below that will be a video of YouTube's choosing. Once again, thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye-bye.